Welcome once again to London, where 16 players have gathered to face off in a $5, $10 no-limit cash game. Our pros may have been hogging the limelight so far, but equally some eye-popping poker has emerged in some unexpected places.
Gledhill is the razor with by far the worst of it.
That's really bad. I don't know what he's doing there. It's just really tight.
Oh, Fleischer has got jacks. This could be a bit of a car crash for him. Wow,
Oh, wow.
There's a jack. It's a set for Fleischer. Gut shot for Gledhill. That's of minimal consequence, but he's got to come out betting. He was the initial raiser.
Hey, what a shock!
So let me just get this right. You folded top pair in the up and down draw there for $110. The Dory has the best hand, but Chandler knows the only way he can win is to bet it, and there is the bet.
Without further ado, let's join our commentators.
Well, let's check on our 6 good men and true for the start of the show. In seat 1, Tom Fleischer. He's up just over $300. In seat 2, Scott Shelley, who we'll hear from in a moment. Very nice, 2,000 to the good. In seat 3 is Will Dory, who's not been at the table long, but he's made it count, 745 ahead. Simon Hemsworth, who you may have heard commentating on some of our earlier shows, he's $100 up. In seat 5, Marc Chandler, who's looked really solid and showing a 4-figure profit. And finally, in seat 6, our qualifier, Alan Rachevich, he's down $750. Delighted to have Scott Shelley alongside me in the commentary box. For Rachevich, Scott, because he only keeps any profit he makes, he's got to get busy and fairly quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say go out there all guns blazing, but I definitely wouldn't be afraid to gamble in his spot. He's only going to keep his profit and he's got nothing to lose.
All our players began with $2,000 in chips, blinds 5 and 10, although there's been almost a mandatory straddle, which is double the big blind. You can see there the $20 in front of Will Dory, so he's straddled here.
Player 2 folds. Player 3 folds.
Small pocket pair here for Rachevich.
Yeah, I bet if we told him, he wouldn't believe how good a shape he's actually in.
Doesn't get a lot better than 4s versus 4-3, does it?
Yeah, Mark's going to be happy to continue here. He's made a little draw here. I'd expect the 4s to call at least 1 on this sort of board.
The problem is if he just calls, what does he do when the bet goes in on the turn?
Yeah, I mean, say it's a good sort of card for him would be a card that pairs the board, or like a 3, for example. But apart from that, so this is going to be a scare card to him. It's going to be a great card for Marc to bet.
And Chandler has shown a real propensity to put chips in the middle, even when he's holding absolutely nothing. And this is putting the pressure on the qualifier.
Yeah, it's a really tough spot for him now. I mean, it's a good card for Marc to bluff, which I'm sure he's aware of, but if you're going to face this bet, you've got to face another bet on the river.
Rachevich's only got 4th pair, and he mucks them. Good strong play by Chandler.
Yeah, I think I play it similarly to both of them, to be fair. Can't see me making a call on a turn with the 4s. It's really, really hard to do that.
Those red chips are 5. Green and purples are 25, and the orange and blacks are worth 100. So Chandler straddling again. Why do players like to straddle, Scott?
I mean, it just creates action. And then that's pretty much the be-all and end-all what it does. It just makes the game a bit bigger. You get the option. I mean, I don't think players would do it if it was just a blind raise and they're just literally bloating the pot. But because you get the option and you're making the game a bit bigger, it's always a nice thing to do.
Well, when you straddle, that's the kind of hand you want. Ace-king here for Chandler.
3 folds. 50 more to draw.
And then you just snap quit his session.
Player 4 calls. 40 more.
Suited ace for Simon.
Yeah, it's a nice spot here for Marc. Can't imagine him doing anything else but raising. Made some speculative free bets in positions like this before, so when you find a big value hand like ace-king, you've got to expect the same.
So that's an I mean business bet. 235 is the raise. Wouldn't have thought that either of them would want to give him any business here.
Yeah, I can't imagine Simon doing anything but folding.
So many amateur players get in trouble with suited cards, but it literally makes just 2 or 3% difference.
Yeah, Simon's not going to like that spot there, because even if he does make the call, he's going to be out of position without the betting lead, so it's a spot where he needs to hit to win the hand, really.
More power to Chandler's stack. Here's how we stand. You're doing very nicely with still a nearly 2,000 profit, but look at Chandler. Not too far behind now.
Yeah, definitely looks like the most active player at the table. Picking up a lot of pots without made hands, which is nice.
20 to call.
Richevich here showing that it's not just the pros who can straddle. He's going to make it 20.
Player 1 raises to 60.
Fleischer in with a raise.
2 folds.
Doesn't play well generally, a rag ace against the raise, does it, Scott?
No, I think ace-6 is probably the nut low ace in my opinion. I mean, ace-5 downwards, at least you can flop a wheel with. And anything above that is obviously better than ace-6. Ace-6 is just a hand that's... It's just really ugly.
Player 5 does. 6 calls.
So three-way here.
8. 10. 8. Player 6 checks.
2 pair for Will.
Yeah, going to expect a bet here from Tom a lot of the time. It's a good board to see bet, especially with the 2 overs and the gut shot.
Bet's 95.
That should be more than enough.
Player 3 calls. 95 to call. 6 folds. 3.
Changes nothing. Well, Fleischer had a little pop at it and he got a fairly solid response. Is he going to bet again? Looks like it.
Yeah, looks like he's going for the second barrel.
1 bet's 220.
It'd be very hard for Dory to put Fleischer on an 8 here, wouldn't it, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, Tom's known as quite a solid type player, so there's not going to be too many 8s in his raising range. I mean, he will raise 8, 9 suited and hands like that, but there's only a few.
4.
Be interested to see what he does here now that Will's called 2 streets. Is he going to give up?
Well, he knows the only way he can win this is with a bet, but as we can see, it would have to be a fairly sizable bet, and he gives up. So, to bet for value or just to check behind?
I think Will's going to go for some value here. I mean, I don't think Tom's ever got a hand better than a 10 once he checks river. Be quite shocked to not see him bet for value here.
Well, we can see he's not getting a call, whatever he bets, but of course he doesn't know that.
Player 3 bets. 385.
385 too much, methinks.
Yeah, I don't think Tom's going to... Well, he can't ever call, I don't think, unless he's going to try and make a soul read and put Will on 7-9 or a hand like that, but...
It's a credibility pause, I think, isn't it? Making it look as though, well, should I have a look? No.
I mean, he might be considering making the superhero call, but I doubt he will.
Well, that's the only play he's got, along with the one he's going to do, which is fold. Made it look like it was a tough decision.
You hear what he said? He said, show the 9-7, so it did go through his head a little bit.
We might have had the same hand. What, Queen 10? No. Queens.
Well, I think we'll have a bit better than Queen High there, Tom.
I think we value bets Queen 10 there all day long. I'd like the side bet at the same time. Queen Jack, maybe, did you? Well,
If I could play poker against anyone, heads up, who would it be? Jeez.
I might just say Phil Hellmuth because I just think it'd be absolutely hilarious. Like, I think he is the greatest thing to happen to poker, and it'd just be so much fun.
My sister, because she has many good talents, and in poker I'm crushing her, so I would love to play her heads up in poker.
The owner of Cirque du Soleil, Guy La Liberté, just because he's got a lot of money, he's not that great at poker, but mostly he's just a great character. He seems like a lot of fun, he seems to love the game, and I think that's what it's all about, so I think it'd be him.
Without a question, the only people that I would want to play poker with are people that I have ulterior motives to playing with, because I'm quite a charming guy. I do look a bit like a hobo, but I've got a lovely accent when I'm in America.
I guess someone like Taylor Wayne. She's got huge bazookas, big fan of hers, seen lots of her films.
I guess Bill Gates or someone like that, with lots of money and poor skills. I don't know. Easy money, it's always fun.
You boss day 1 A, you can play day 1 B. Yeah. Well, they don't need 2 day 1s, there's only 200 there. Well, so I think
do you know what it was? I think they were expecting like tons and tons more because it was just the back of the EPT, but obviously not.
Whichever's got the shades there on the table, just in case he gets in a big pot and he needs to put them on.
Balls.
See, I said I was going to do that, and I never actually did make the open then. I feel.
Player 5 raises to 70.
Simon showed me.
6
I don't think I've
folds.
ever worn sunglasses
60
playing, but I
folds,
actually
yeah.
considered wearing it for
Player
this
1
just because of the
folds.
lights of the
60
TV
more.
studio.
Oh, right, okay.
So I remember one time before I played a tournament and ended up on the TV table for just a short time, but I was literally blinded the whole time I was there. It's like
Seat 3 folds.
deer in the headlights.
There was a song called Blinded by the Light, but it was way, way, way before you were born. Shows me age.
5.
Here's the flop.
Queen. 2.
Queen high. There's a creative little raise that by Charlton with just 10-6, and here comes the continuation bet.
Player 5 bets 80.
No, we're ready for Hemsworth to go.
Yeah, it's hard for Simon to do anything but check fold there on that sort of flop. It's not even got much backdoor equity.
So excellent play again from Chandler, who at the moment is running over this table. We'll see if it continues in just a moment. Welcome back to the PKR London Cash Game, where Marc Chandler there is in a rich vein of form at the moment, and he hasn't really had particularly good cards either.
20 to go.
Been all his own work, really.
Yeah, most of the time it seems like he's just being the aggressive pre-flop and either betting 1 or 2 streets and getting a fold by the turn, which is working out well for him.
To 60.
Fleischer bumps it up with the suited connectors here.
60 to go. Player 2 folds.
Not a tough decision to throw those in the muck, Scott, really.
Yeah, no, it's a bit speculative, the 8-7 off. I mean, I had the button, which was probably the only thing going for me, but...
You're also coming towards the end of your time at this point. It's done on a rotational basis.
Yeah.
So presumably you're just a slightly concerned. You don't want to undo all the hard work with a couple of very loose calls late on.
Yeah, it's never good to just spew off all your money you've grinded away for.
Player 5 checks.
Well, you'd think Fleischer will have to follow with a bet here.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, Marc's got a hand that I think he's going to call a lot on this flop. Just because the Jack-Jack 3, I mean, unless you've got a pocket pair, it's not really going to hit you at all.
Would he possibly think that Fleischer could have a better ace than he has?
He definitely could, but this question he's not too sure. I mean, it's definitely just a call, and now that's a good turn for him because now he can chop with any other ace. It's also bad because Fleischer could. There's loads of aces that Fleischer could have that he was beating on the flop.
So both players playing the board, but the ace kicker, the Chandler.
Player 5 checks, 1 checks.
Oh, ace 9.
So it's gone check, check, and more chips to Chandler. Easy game, this.
I think once Marc calls the flop, Tom's just going to give up unless he makes a pair. I think he's always got a hand like ace high that's always going to call the river. It's really hard for him to bet that river once checking back the turn.
Those stacks getting higher and higher.
Struggling. I get nothing to lose really.
I think this was about time that you took your leave, Scott, with a very nice profit of $1,840. You must have been pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mr. Hames for that.
Here's the confirmation then. Chandler 16.45 ahead. Will Dory also doing well. And some of our earlier losers, including Lovgren there, who was down 17.40. And she is back at the table trying to get some of that cash back. I actually thought she played pretty well, Scott, and she lost that really big hand to Gesh Combine when he had the quad kings.
Sounds about right for Bane to wake up with the quads.
So she's in seat 2.
Just like not much over 2, I think. 2.5 maybe.
60.
Bucks for Fleischer.
Seat 2 pass. Seat 3 pass.
Wow, Will folded a button. It's quite shocking.
Yeah, let's make a note of that.
And he had a king.
Call, seat 4. Pass, seat 5. Pass, seat 6.
Interesting. Simon just calling with ace queen here.
Yeah, I think his thinking is here that if he free bets and Tom comes back at him, he's going to be in a pretty sticky spot because Tom's a sort of player that's going to be quite solid and won't be, unless he's 4-bet bluffing, ace queen's not really good against his value range.
Very quick check despite making 2 pair, and it's an invitation for Fleischer to bet, which he is going to accept.
65, seat 1.
Yeah, can't blame Tom for betting this flop. Paired board with a small pocket pair is usually a good flop. Simon's hands well disguised as well from his flat call pre-flop.
Call, seat 4.
So once again, a smooth call in behind.
Check, seat 4.
Suspect that Fleischer might be getting a little suspicious at this point.
Yeah, I mean, on a queen 7-7, no flush draw board, it's you've got to sort of think what sort of cards is your opponent calling you with. And now that ace hits, I think he can't beat anything, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, it's a good card in a way for Hemsworth, except that he didn't need it, and it's going to scare Fleischer, so it's a tough decision whether he's going to bet again or just give up here.
Yeah, I think when Simon calls the flop, his hands are queen 7s, pocket pairs and ace highs, so Tom, I think, knows he's got the worst hand now, and maybe he's just trying to get him off a pocket pair better than his.
Or he might be trying to belatedly rep the ace when in fact it's in Hemsworth's hand.
It's always fun to rep the hand your opponent has.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Double the bet here, maybe?
Yeah, you can see he's having a think to see if he can raise for value here. And there he goes for it. Hoping Tom has a hand like ace king.
Pass.
But unfortunately he doesn't for Simon.
So nice pot for Hemsworth. Just not going Fleischer's way at the moment.
No, I don't think he's necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just the board's up running kindly to his hands. And he's playing hands against good players that aren't going to give him easy decisions.
Yeah, it's just the same as if it's yours, but there would be if it was the same thing. Even though you was
So Dory straddling here. Dealer button is in front of the qualifier, Masevich,
Yeah, I'm playing more and more 6 minutes.
who needs a pot of some substance pretty quickly.
Right. Going to get to his last 10 minutes, he's going to start moving in every hand.
It's going to be madness, isn't it?
Then you put it in and then and then you reload.
Pass seat 6.
Chartler showing yet again he doesn't need the goods to put a bet in.
Call,
Big Will, you
seat
didn't
3.
look at all convinced then, mate.
Yeah, you can see Marc's feeling really confident because of the sort of hands he's opening. I mean, I'd expect him to open a wide range, but the queen 7 off is probably one I wouldn't have said that would usually come into his opening range. So he's got to feel like he's really confident and got a good grasp of the table.
Well, this will go bet fold, you would imagine.
No, I reckon Will stick around for at least one more of the gut shots and nuts.
Call, seat 3.
He likes to play the game, Will.
Okay, so 75 more.
Check, seat 3. Check, seat 5.
Interesting, Chartler slows down, maybe concerned that his opponent has an ace.
Yeah, I mean, he's not too sure if he's got the best at the moment, but it's also pot control as well. He doesn't want to bet and then he knows Will's capable of semi-bluffing him with a few sort of hands. Just trying to keep the pot small in position with a marginal pair. See if he's going to look Will up once he looks like he's betting here.
Yeah, I mean, Dory could pick up on what he perceives as weakness from Chartler, and he has bet. And it's enough to make Chartler think about it here, 215.
Yeah, I don't think he's beating anything that Will would bet for value, because I'm not sure Will would bet worse than the queen for value, and any queen he's probably going to be beating him when he's got the 7 kicker. There's missed hearts out there, there's the hand he has, like a missed gut shot.
And he puts it down.
Yeah, he's got away with it. Great bet.
Well played, Will Dory. That was excellent. Yet again, an example of how the worst hand wins. Alan Rachevich, though, still needs some chips. What's the best way for him to tangle with the pros?
The best bit of advice I'd give to qualifiers would be take your time, don't rush, think things through and enjoy yourself, really.
I think there is going to be a lot of spots where the pros and some of the regular players are going to be picking on them a lot.
Just give me your money.
More importantly, don't start playing extremely passive, because people are going to take advantage of them. So they need to stand up for themselves, which is counterintuitive, but not allow themselves to get run over.
Just play their own game, you know, don't be scared, don't be afraid of doing something because you might look silly on TV, like doing a big bluff or doing a big cool down.
You want to duck and dive a little bit more, show a few bluffs, you know what I mean? Show that you're the man, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's an advert for your poker playing. Just enjoy it and relish the experience. I think it's not something that comes around every day, this. It's a really great opportunity.
You get to keep your profits, so you better gamble it up.
Well, Rachevich is dwindling in terms of stack size, but he's still got enough to make his opponents think about it if he puts a big bet in. He needs to get something going quickly. And then a peek down.
60.
Chartler picks up a hand this time, and he's raised so often with, well, garbage that no one's going to give him credit necessarily for a hand as strong as queens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as we were just mentioning before, he's probably been the most active player at the table and taking down a lot of uncontested pots where his hand's not going to showdown.
Maybe a little bit of inexperience from Rachevich, just calling with King 5.
Yeah, not a big fan of this play. I mean, he probably wants to just mix it up a bit, get involved. Good news is for him is he's in position, which always helps.
Well, that board absolutely perfect for Chartler. Got an overpair to it.
75,
and Rachevich will be throwing these in pretty quickly, you would think. Oh, maybe.
Looks like he has other plans. Going to pull off a float.
Well, if he's going to go for a bluff here, it's going to backfire big time. Either on the turn or the river. Because Chartler is going to keep betting at him.
135, seat 5.
Now he's made a pair, he might feel like he has the best hand some of the time and doesn't have to bluff.
Call.
Yeah. I'd imagine when he peeled the flop that he had intentions of maybe raising the turn or betting if Marc had checked, but it seems like he might feel that the 5's good.
Well, it's a slightly scary card on the end. It does put the straight on, and it's 3 hearts on board, although backdoor flush unlikely, and in fact it's gone check, and Chartler will take it down with the ladies.
Yeah, neither of them are going to be fans of that river. I think the 8 does hit the qualifier's hand a lot more than it does Marc, so maybe that was a chance for him to bluff him off it, but if Marc would have folded, we'll never know.
So Chartler is on fire. Everything he touches seemingly turns to gold here. Here's how we stand. He's up $1,645. Will Dory also doing pretty well, 12-10 to the good, and Hemsworth showing a small profit. The story continues in just a minute. Welcome back to London, where Rachevich in seat 6, right-hand side of your screen, is getting worryingly short. Chartler going from strength to strength, and this might be A potential showdown here. Ace-Queen for the qualifier, pocket sevens for Chandler. We don't know what the others have got just yet.
Call, seat 2. Pass,
Playable
seat
hand
3.
for Sofia.
Pass, seat 4.
I imagine Marc's going to make up as well and see a flop.
Call,
No reason
seat
to raise
5.
there with the sevens. Quite a fair battle, free-handed, those free hands.
Check, seat 5.
Well, we'd imagine Chandler would think his sevens are good here.
Yeah, I mean,
Check,
he
seat 6.
once the qualifier checks the flop, I feel like he's going to feel like he's really good a lot of the time here.
Sofia says, enough checking, gentlemen.
110, seat 2.
Yeah, check 2 in position. I like her bet. Don't think Marc can ever give up here for one bet.
Should he raise or just flat it?
No, there's no reason to raise. Definitely just flat. I mean, raising, you're only going to scare out bluffs and get action from hands that beat you.
Check, seat 5.
Will she bet again? With just king high.
Yeah, although the 10's is an overcard to the board and it's going to be like an overcard to hands like Marc's got, I'm not sure if it's a scare card. It's like, what sort of hands can she bet the flop with that's got a 10 on it?
225, seat 2.
Yeah, I mean, she bet obviously before the 10 came, didn't she, off the
Yeah.
flop. She's followed through with it, though, so Chandler just thinking, as you say, can't see him jacking these just yet.
No, I can't. I definitely see him calling at least
Call,
one more.
seat 5.
Feel like he's putting Sofia on hands like pocket pairs. She might have a 10 with hearts. She could have hearts, which have got there now. I mean, he's not going to like it if he faces another bet.
5.
I don't think Sophia's someone that you'd come across that would like 3-barrel bluff a lot. And pretty much every possible hand got there.
And check.
And she gives up on the end.
It's a bad river card, I think.
7.
Sevens are good. Has anyone else won a pot at this table in the last half an hour?
Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it.
No. No.
So yeah, she asked him if he was calling a bet on the river, and he said no. So
Interesting. No, they say that as you get older, it appears as though policemen get younger, but I think the same applies with poker players. Look at Sofia and Marc. They look like they should be at college.
I think Tom looks the youngest at this table, though.
Yeah, again, another one, yeah. She was the youngest
Seat 2.
PKR pro when she
Yeah.
started, wasn't she, Sofia, at
Seat
just
3.
20?
Pass, seat 4.
Yeah, very, very early on in her poker career.
Calls, seat 5. Pass, seat 6.
Marc in great shape here. Doesn't know it, though.
Good thing she was born in Europe, because you can't play poker live in the States till you're 21.
Yeah. That's right, she was a PKR pro and couldn't come to Vegas the first year she was because of that.
Fortunately, I just qualified. It's close.
Just scraped in.
So 3 clubs on board now. No one has a club.
75, seat 5.
Up and down, Sofia.
Yeah, it's an interesting hand. I think she checked back the flop, and now she's turned a draw, but it's kind of a dodgy card because not all of her outs are clean. The club wouldn't be really good for her. I mean, although Marc doesn't have a club, she doesn't know that. There is another club.
Can't see too much action from here.
Seat 5.
But this is a good chance for Sofia to pick up the pot.
What would she need to bet? 130 odd?
Yeah, I'd say that'd be fine. Even 125 would be enough.
5. Pass.
Gone for a little bit bigger, but yeah, you could. I mean, it's easy for us to say because we can see Marc's obviously check folding, but you could just see his mannerism didn't seem like he was interested in it anymore.
But even if he'd had a small club, he probably wouldn't have got involved with a 155 bet. So more power to Sofia's stack. There's an awful lot of knowledge around this table. 5 top quality pros who have learnt their trade. What would be their best advice, do you think, on how to win at this game?
I think the best bit of advice you can give to someone who's starting out is to play. I think there's no other way to learn the game better than playing and getting the experience yourself.
You need to master the more boring things that are like bankroll management, being disciplined, playing in good games, and things like that, as well as just constantly trying to learn to be better, because the game's always evolving, it's always getting more difficult, and if you don't keep ahead of that curve, you're just going to fall behind, and suddenly, you're not winning at the game anymore.
Looks very glamorous on TV, you see all these guys flying around the world playing tournaments, but in fact it's a lot tougher than it sounds, and you've got to have a lot of mental aptitude to hack it. There's a lot of downswings. You'll have times where you just think you just want to give up and quit and run away, not whinge like I do, and moan and cry, and then you'll be good, unlike me.
I think what Simon said there about bankroll management is absolutely key. You just can't emphasise it enough. It might not be to do with poker strategy per se, but unless your bankroll management is right, Scott, you may as well give up.
Yeah, I think bankroll management's a huge part of the game. It's just going to keep you from not playing with scared money and playing within your bankroll, and it's definitely a key part to being a successful player.
30, seat 3.
Suited slick for Will Dory here. A couple of suited connectors for Hemsworth as well, so he's going to come along for the ride, and we know Chandler loves to see cards.
Yeah, he sees a raise and a call and he has the button. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
And Rachevich not going to go anywhere either, I wouldn't imagine, for 25 more. Oh, he's raising.
Gave the strategy away. You can also see a flop a lot cheaper as well.
Yes, that's because you want to see a cheap flop, Mark. This looks like it's going to be a case of bad timing
160, seat
for the
6.
qualifier. He's been a bit unlucky. I mean, a lot of occasions he might have got this through, but of course with the ace-king suited in Dory's hand, it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, Will's definitely not going to be going anywhere. And yeah, you're right, there's been a lot of spots where if he'd have made this play, he would have got it through just because the hands have been quite marginal. But yeah, ace-king on the higher part of his range. Looks like he's going to try and induce to get it in. 380.
380, seat 3.
Clears out the rest of the field quite quickly.
It's what the game is all about, putting your opponents to tough decisions. And having committed 100 plus chips, he's now got to face putting in a lot more if he wants to carry on here with a hand that so often is easily dominated. I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, I think he's got enough where he doesn't have to go gambling just yet, and it's a spot where, as you said, he's going to be dominated quite a lot.
Shouldn't have called the first one, to be honest with you. For my bluffing glasses.
Yeah, it's time for the shades.
Here we go.
That might change the luck.
3.
Well, at least he's on the button this time. Alan?
Pass, seat 4. 55, seat 5.
That's well in Chandler's raising range. 10-6.
Yes, it's suited. Sunglasses on, straight into it, are we? Oh, yeah.
He just wants to play hands, doesn't he?
Yeah.
6.
It's good to see him being aggressive rather than just peeling here and then hoping to hit a flop. I like the fact he said he was putting on his bluffing glasses and got straight to it with the 7-4 off.
Yeah, kind of reverse psychology.
Yeah, he's going to get it through. Fair play to him.
Well done, Alan.
Show the hand. There you go.
Had you dominated as well.
He did. He had him crushed with the 10 high.
I don't look like a poker player, so I tried to make at least my avatar look like a poker player. Yeah, that's it. Hoodie, the headset, sunglasses, and that's it, yeah. I prefer online because I can play bigger value and stuff. Yeah, mostly that, and big tournament schedules also, but cash game not so much actually. But for fun, of course, live game is more fun. But we'll see. Maybe I change my mind after this one.
interesting, Scott. He was saying that most of his play is online. What are the big differences and the potential pitfalls when you go from playing online to playing live?
I'd say the main difference is people are going to be watching you and seeing how you're acting at the table and seeing if you're doing anything, certain actions when you've got a big hand or a weak hand. It's stuff like that, and it's a lot more patient game to play. I mean, when you're online, you're going to be playing a lot of tables, a lot of volume, and the hands per hour is a lot quicker. So it's a big difference, big difference.
7 minutes. I can still fold.
Yeah, he can still fold 5 high. Suited ace here for Sofia.
Yeah, got to expect her to open the button here in an unraised pot.
Call C3. Pass C4. Pass C5.
Wow, Chandler's folded a hand.
Took the 9-3 offsuit, even with good pot odds.
So Will against Sofia here. This is interesting because they both obviously missed it.
C3. Check C2.
Quite surprised Sofia didn't bet that flop. It may be that it's because it's against Will and he's capable of floating and maybe raising the flop as a bluff. She does keep pot control with the ace and the button.
Well, it should be a decent card for her.
Yeah, definitely.
She's playing the set of 7s on board, an ace-king.
60 C2. Pass.
And a very easy fold for Will.
Yeah, he's not going to try anything tricky this time.
So, solid rather than spectacular since Sofia rejoined the table, but it's still all about chartless chips at the moment. Can anyone stop him? Find out when we come back. Welcome back to the PKR London Cash Game, where Alen Racevic's time is getting short. We operate a rotation system. He's literally got just a few minutes left. And he's just got to gamble now, Scott. There's no point doing otherwise, is there?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the last 10 minutes or so, I think you've just got to get your chips in as often as possible, really. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. He's got no downside to it, so it makes sense to.
You just hope you get some kind of playable hand.
Yeah. You don't want the queen deuce off.
Nice suited cards here for Will. Up and down now.
Check.
Second pair for Racevic.
75 C3. Call C6. Check C6.
So the 10's still good. Do you think Racevic should have bet there, or are you happy with the check?
No, I'm definitely happy with the check. I don't think there's any reason to lead the turn. You're just going to cause yourself some problems, but...
It's just not his day, is it?
Yeah, not as many problems as that river's going to cause him.
Check C6.
So there's the straight, king high straight for Dory. Although you can't imagine Racevic losing too much here. I know he's only got a few minutes left, but it's a dangerous board. Flushing and straightening.
300.
Yeah, I can't see him turning his... Oh, wow, Will's gone for the overbet. Only a slight overbet, but still.
Yeah, just fractionally overbet the pot, and he's going to get paid off by the look of it.
Call C6.
Yeah.
And he's going to be left cursing the river when Dory shows him the straight. Just nothing's really worked for Alen today. Nice pot though for Will. Down to 515.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for him. He needs a good little spin up now.
Like 500 on 500.
Everyone's asking for the stack size. The vultures are coming out.
They're all circling. They've all got their eyes on his stack.
They know it needs to go in.
It doesn't matter now. No.
I see Tom's head working now. I bet he's thinking, I bet it's not me that gets it.
Well, Tom, actually, he's not got too long left either.
60, seat 4.
Suited ace is worth $60, says Simon. Chantler has suited cards as well. And here comes the shove with a king 9.
See, there you go. I know him too well. Why can't I get a hand here?
I think this is an interesting decision for Simon because, of course, normally he'd muck these, but because he knows what the situation is, he's thinking an ace could well be good because the range of Racevic is so big.
Yeah, I think you can see that Racevic is getting a bit frustrated with how things are going, so he's going to be shoving quite a lot of hands. A7 of hearts definitely a call in that spot, I think.
Needs a jack. And that's no good. So that's the end, unfortunately, for Racevic. He certainly learnt a lot, and I'm sure he enjoyed it, despite the fact that he has to walk away with nothing.
Tell us about this last hand, because King 9, it seemed like, you know, that was kind of crazy.
Well, it was, I don't know, I was just getting it all in and hoping for the best, you know, because I was left only with 500 chips.
Yeah.
I only can take my profits, so I gambled it and
you
didn't help.
You did what you had to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And how did you find the play at the table?
It was quite fun.
Well,
yeah,
hopefully we'll see you soon on the circuit. Thank you.
So Marc Bariller is back at the table. Simon proudly counting out those chips. He's up nearly $850 now.
I'm quite happy, as long as you all agree, obviously.
Yep.
There's Marc.
50 short stack.
Pass, seat 4. Pass, seat 5.
And he comes straight back in with a pocket pair, the Frenchman.
60, seat 6.
Yeah, easy decision for him when it folds round to the button.
Fleischer will be going nowhere with ace queen.
195, seat 1.
Expensive this, isn't it, with jack
Pass,
queen?
seat
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, it's hard for Will to do anything there.
So they got one on Sunday. Oh, yeah.
Call, seat 6.
Yeah. No, they sort of singing the Jamaican accent at the beginning.
I actually don't know if I heard the song, but I just knew they did a collaboration with Sean.
Pretty good flop for a pair of 8s.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty pleased with that. Just a 1 over, and he has a club in his hand. Not that it matters with Tom holding the ace of clubs, but he's not to know that.
205, seat 1.
Well, almost duty bound to put the c-bet in, Fleischer.
Yeah.
And a very quick call, understandably.
Yeah, it's pretty standard so far. I think Tom always has to c-bet that flop, and Marc always has to call with his 8s.
Another nice card for the Frenchman on the turn.
Jason was up there.
Fleischer's getting a little bit short there of chips, and he's slowed down. He knows his time's almost up as well. Well, how do you fancy making a straight on the river just to make sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marc's confident he has the best hand now if he wasn't before that.
He'll be thinking, what kind of a bet can I get paid with here? But we can see Fleischer has absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Tom's hand does look like what it is to him, to Marc, I think. So he's going to try and get a call from ace high, which is really hard in this spot. But you can see he's bet really small. Just try and extract value, but it's not going to work.
1 pass.
So that was a nice welcome back to the table for Marc. $430 profit on the hand. Simon straddling here, action on Chantler.
Seat 5. Pass.
He's just relentless.
6.
He bets everything.
He is. I actually didn't realise how aggressive he was being in this game until watching it back now.
Pass, seat 2. Pass, seat 3. Pass, seat 4.
Easy game.
Yeah, another pot for Chartler, and that, in fact, was the final hand for Tom Fleischer. Things maybe didn't go quite as well as he would have wanted. I'm sure he's enjoyed himself nonetheless, despite the loss.
You did make a few good folds in places.
Yeah, Scott told me I made one good fold against him, kings against queens.
Yeah.
That felt good, that was pretty early on.
He actually, we spoke to him about that hand, and he said he thought it was because there was time called, and that's why why he decided to fold
it sort
in the
of
end.
sucked. I wanted to think a little bit longer. There was a few times where I really did consider shoving, and then I don't know,
He said because the pressure was on, he was like, no, it's not going to happen now.
Yeah, they called the time really quick, which was pretty harsh, but I don't know, maybe made the right decision, so it was okay.
Who do you think is going to walk away from the table with the most amount of profit?
I mean, you got to go with Bain. He's always going to be the biggest, or like the biggest winner or biggest loser. And I heard he'd done all right, so I'm going to go with Bain, I think.
Well, let's check the leaderboard then. Chartler $1,645 to the good. Will Dorey doing well also. Simon Hemsworth, a couple $100 up. And Bariller, who's just come back, is also in profit. Lovgren and Fleischer, the losers so far.
So time is running out for our players to make their mark on the game and walk away with a profit. Join us back here next time for the conclusion of the PKR.com London Cash Game.